During this holiday season, remember to be kind to one another and recognize that spending time with friends and family is precious. It is the season to be generous.
Today on 15 on 15.
We take a look at the biggest developments in tourism this year, starting with Southwest adding Aruba to their portfolio. Plus, the director of ATA says although the Venezuelan market grew tremendously this year, it is an unstable market. Therefore, diversification is key. And American Airlines added another daily flight to Aruba this year.
Hi everyone, thank you for joining us. I'm Yentl Lieuw. We have a special show today as we revisit the biggest news on the island in tourism this year. Let's start with a domestic American airline going international this year. Southwest chose Aruba as their first destination beyond the U.S. borders, generating plenty of publicity for us.
On Monday morning, Aruba Airport Authority stakeholders, together with Aruba Tourism Authority and Southwest Airline executives, met to iron out the details of the inaugural flight, which is set to take place July 1st. Southwest Airlines taking over AirTran has allowed for the expansion and partnership.
Aruba has not been on our route map, but it's very much been on our radar for Southwest Airlines. And through the acquisition of AirTran and now Southwest becoming the largest airline in the United States, making its first ever international departure to Aruba on July 1st, we're very much now connecting the largest domestic network in the United States with your beautiful island.
Well, Southwest is so excited, especially to be working with the Aruba folks here in the airport, and every new destination is so exciting for us, but especially this because we are finally expanding our brand beyond the U.S. border, and we're coming here to Aruba, and it's our first international flight, so that's a huge milestone in our history.
Once Southwest acquired AirTran, the airline decided to not only continue with the Aruba route, but saw the demand to insert more flights into the itinerary.
Well, it's an interesting thing because as we've been in a journey to become an international carrier, we acquired and merged with AirTran Airways, and overnight, one of our former competitors became part of the family, as we were then able to open the books and look at the vitality and the success and the economic stability, the promise of the market of Aruba. It made perfect sense to think about how we would plug Aruba into our network and vice versa.
With Southwest Airlines transporting passengers from Aruba to the United States, opens up doors for the island to dive into more U.S. markets, going beyond New York and Boston. Diversifying Aruba's American market is what the Southwest partnership is offering.
Clearly, it's evident that air traffic on the island is growing. You're adding new destinations, you're adding flights in every direction. And in getting Southwest Airlines, you're plugging into the largest domestic airline in the United States. And so the promise of the local traffic here and what we can bring from the U.S., I think, bodes well for a future of confidence. We are the largest carrier in California, the largest carrier in Texas, the largest in Chicago, in Washington, D.C., and in Florida. Think about all of those places that now will be at least one stop away or nonstop on Southwest Airlines.
Furthermore, the local market on the island can also take advantage of this new venture.
Well, I think we've really taken the approach to put our customers first. We don't nickel and dime. We're not going to charge you bag fees. We're not going to charge you change fees. We want to allow you to use those that money elsewhere. You're going on a trip, you're going with your family. That's really expensive if you're going to come to the airport and be charged those unnecessary fees. So I think that's really where the trust is with our customers, and just continuing to provide them a vast network. We listen to them. They've said they wanted to come, beyond the U.S. border, and we're excited for them to be able to come down here to Aruba.
I have heard nothing but fantastic feedback regarding the addition of Southwest Airlines. They offer affordable ticket prices to and from Aruba to various U.S. states. We'll continue with more tourism headlines from 2014 when we come back, so stay with us.
When we return, we discuss the Venezuelan tourism market trends.
Welcome back from the break, and thanks for staying tuned to 15 on 15. This year, the Venezuelan tourism market grew rapidly. This is, of course, a positive development for the island. However, the director of the Aruba Tourism Authority warns that this particular market is a volatile one. Therefore, ATA's marketing strategies cannot be focused towards that direction. Diversification is key.
Ronella Ashuchin-Cruz from Aruba Tourism Authority says the island is exceeding projections as well as expectations this year when it comes to the amount of visitors coming over. The Venezuelan market accounted for a large percentage of this.
We expect to reach the 1 million mark in terms of stayover arrivals in the month of December this year, and we're surpassing the objective we set for this year. Of course, we're very happy about that, and there are certain things that we flagged there though. We have a Venezuelan market which has been increasing significantly over the past few years, largely attributable to developments on a domestic level. So these are things that we are conscious, we're aware of, and that we monitor.
Having more Venezuelan visitors is a positive development. However, tourism stakeholders need to be cautious and not rely solely on this specific demographic. What Aruba should do, Ronella says, is to take advantage of this growth and go into the surrounding countries of Latin America.
I think it is a positive development. However, we realize that you don't want to be overly dependent on this market either, considering the fact that it's highly volatile. So what we try to do is diversify within the Latin American base as well, and this is an effort which we see is paying off as well. We're seeing increases in Colombia, in Brazil, in Chile.
The director of ATA says they will continue efforts in this region. Since the Venezuelan market is volatile and is continuously showing different patterns, ATA strategizes on gauging other markets.
The segments of visitors visiting the island from Venezuela are displaying different patterns of behavior, and we are aware of this trend. Not bad necessarily, however, it is very important to be conscious of this development, to make sure that in any case we continue to pursue a strategy of diversification within the Latin American market so as to not be overly dependent on the Venezuelan market.
The Venezuelan market can change from one day to another. Therefore, Aruba cannot continue building on this market or invest sole efforts in this area alone.
I think that we can continue to count on the fact that the segment that we attract and where we put our efforts in the market will continue to be one that will continue to visit Aruba, which is the case right now. And however, we are also aware that other segments might fall and might not be able to visit Aruba anymore, considering changes that might happen on a domestic level, so in the Venezuelan market. So the development that we've been seeing, the significant increases, is something that can change from one day to the other. And we just have to be prepared of that, and we have to minimize the risk of being overly dependent on Venezuela.
The Venezuelan market does not show travel stability. Therefore, Aruba's primary market, which is the U.S., must continue to be focused on. Let's take a quick break. This is what's coming up next.
One of the biggest developments this year involves American Airlines adding another daily flight to Aruba.
Bon Pasco, Feliz Navidad, and Happy Holidays. No matter how you say it, we should all celebrate this season joyously. On behalf of everyone on 15 on 15, we want to wish you happiness, health, success, and peace. The island's tourism industry this year continued to grow. American Airlines added yet another daily flight to the island. We have Joanne Adens, the Chief Marketing Officer from Aruba Airport Authority, to tell us more.
American Airlines introduced a third daily flight to Miami International Airport using its B737-800 aircraft with 154 seats. Joanne Adens, the head of marketing at Aruba Airport Authority, says this increases capacity, allowing the island to grow and connect to other countries via Miami.
On behalf of the airport and also our tourism partners, we are very much delighted to welcome today the third American Airlines flight, also included in our daily itinerary. As already said, that's correct. They just arrived with their third Miami flight, meaning that we have increased from 14 weekly flights to 21 weekly flights. This third flight will also give Aruba the opportunity to connect to further markets beyond Miami. In total, 172 different destinations that you can connect in the Miami hub.
The added flight times are convenient for travelers, giving them more flexibility to travel to and from Aruba.
It creates more opportunities for Aruba and also our passengers and tourism stayover visitors to connect to Aruba. There will be a total of 3 flights. We will have a morning flight, a midday flight, and an afternoon flight. And all of the three flights connect to the different markets beyond in the US and also international markets, prominent markets such as Brazil, Sao Paulo, Rio de Janeiro. We have Buenos Aires, Mexico, and a couple of other markets that we can connect beyond Miami.
A business class is offered on board this aircraft, which falls into the strategy of attracting the more affluent visitors. This change represents an increase in capacity of 4,620 seats per month.
We have grown from 14 flights, so double daily. We have grown to 3 flights daily. That sums up to 21 weekly flights, and that sums up to around 40,000 seat capacity per month. I think also what's very unique from this flight is that it gives you also the opportunity. You have 16 business class, and the other of the seats are economy class. So in total, on each flight, we will have 154 seats available for Aruba.
Additional airlines and flights adding Aruba to their itinerary is a positive development. It's safe to say 2014 has been a tremendous year when it comes to tourism. We will have another revisit of the news this year. On New Year's Eve, we will shift the focus from tourism to other areas of interest on the island. We'll see you then.